Welcome to our last module, which is all about which megatrends are most relevant in the recharting. So let's kick off with artificial intelligence. Now, artificial intelligence as a megatrend isn't just about literal AI technology, it's about any technology that provides the ability to make the human race more capable, faster, better, and ever more improving. Of course, this does encompass actual AI technology like IBM Watson, in its intelligent learning platform. Something that's already been applied to services like Ross, which is a super intelligent attorney. But examples that don't necessarily integrate AI to that extent include this chair, which was designed by the late architect Zaha Hadid through a combination of, yes, artificial intelligence to see the best designs, but also 3D printing to make thousands of iterations. Now, what this means for the recharting, well, technology is already a sense of crisis support, something that we've seen provide consumers with a way to bounce back. And we believe that it will be the key to society's healing. Technology will be the solution because robotics can reduce face time, automation enables distance, data, of course, enables understanding up against an enemy we've never faced before, and connectivity, most importantly, will keep community alive. Open source solution is an insight where we see that this is already happening, this idea of technology as a means to finding that ultimate solution. Here we see tech and medical professionals creating open source collaborations to try to find these solutions to the pandemic. Technology is the key to how humanity will heal. What technology is available to your company and how could it be used for crisis support? Next, we have multisensation. Multisensation is about the consumer desire to experience ever more interesting forms of entertainment, like tech, AR, VR, and generally more interactivity. At-home entertainment is more important now than ever before because, of course, people are at home all the time. Now, this idea of home entertainment has been increasingly important, but over the past year, we've seen the stakes raise a little bit higher. Interesting, new creative methods of entertaining oneself at home that will set new standards in the future. But one example I wanted to show of this for now is augmented adaptation, wherein we see artists and designers tapping augmented reality to compensate for canceled events. What I find so interesting about this is that it doesn't necessarily replace the experience you would have in person, but it makes for new, even improved experiences. Consumers will become accustomed to fully immersive experiences. So what will that mean for the recharting? And how could you make your digital touchpoints with your customer more exciting now? Next, we get to co-creation. Co-creation is all about brands, products, services, and consumers living in an increasingly interdependent world, wherein brands are tapping consumers to help them develop new products, and consumers are tapping brands for their specific needs. Now, co-creation, I believe, is a great opportunity to marry technology and community. Now, a great example of this is crowdsourced grocery, whereas we see consumers contributing status updates to streamline shopping in COVID. Now, so far, this is applied specifically in the world of grocery, but I do believe that this will be a trend that sort of has greater legs. So co-creation is about involving customers in developing new solutions, and that being empowering for both themselves as well as empowering for your brand. What would your crisis relief messaging be if the end user crafted it themselves? Next up, we have gamification, which, similar to curation, is likely a term that you've heard before. Gamification acknowledges the consumer propensity to honestly get bored with everyday tasks, especially during the era of social media when everything is instant gratification and fairly exciting. Gamification is a response to that. It's the application of game dynamics to real-world problems to make things more engaging. Now, one great example of this is the Helix roller coaster, one of the fastest roller coasters in the world with one of the slowest moving lineups. So what they decided to do is develop an app for waiting that allowed people to play video games. Now, aside from just being something to distract you while you're in line, there was actually a great incentive at the end. The game that you would play had you facing other people in line, and winning would advance you. Now, essentially, gamification is a way to make something that is boring less boring. And there are a wealth of unexciting things happening while people are stuck at home, especially with children. And so one insight that speaks to this is gamified stay at home. Easing social distancing for kids, brands launched updated games that were all about what's currently happening to both increase children's understanding while also giving them something fun to do. But this wasn't just for children. Gamified adulting shows apps that were enabling millennials to complete necessary tasks in a way that was more engaging as well. So gamification makes the mundane more exciting through a sense of accomplishment. How can your brand provide playfulness even in tough times? Up next, we have experience. Similar to authenticity, one of the more elusive megatrends, which is essentially about the idea that in the social media world, people are more focused on getting new memories than they are on getting new items. 46% of young millennials, in fact, have zero saved for retirement, which shows you that there's not that much of a premium placed on material gain. However, 65% of them have travel savings. Now, 41% of consumers, regardless of generation, are most looking forward to feelings of relaxation when they return to restaurants, to stores, to travel, giving operators the chance to refocus on leveraging technology wherever possible. So I want to point to the fact that it's not about replicating old experiences here, but enhancing experiences to suit new needs. In-game concert is a great example of this. Now, during lockdown, we've seen in-game concerts becoming more popular as people seek at-home entertainment options. And these concerts introduce uses of technology that are amazing, that introduce new visuals and new experiences to the act of watching live music that will probably set new standards for when we're able to go to concerts in person again. Now, experience is all about people needing to create memories, especially during tough times. So how can you provide consumers with a sense of adventure and escapism? Next up, we have personalization, which again is a fairly self-explanatory megatrend. It's about the idea that consumers want truly unique products and services, and the best way to do that is to create something personalized and customized for them. Now, the fact is that there are fewer opportunities for joy and connectivity when things are tough. But personalization makes sure that all of these moments of joy and connection count. Digital Milestone is a great example of this. Here we see consumers celebrating important events digitally, with brands stepping in to make sure that these days are still truly special and customized. Another example that is perhaps less productionized is custom hygiene, wherein we see brands offering self-care products that focus on customization in formulas and packaging to even make something as mundane as this exciting. Personalization is about a custom item or experience, creating a true connection with consumers. What opportunities for personalization could be integrated into your brand? Now, last up, we have many-to-many. Many-to-many is a megatrend that's sort of the next iteration of that instant entrepreneurship. It's about the rise of small businesses and a sort of more peer-to-peer community-based economy. Now, why do consumers want to support small businesses? Well, they're looking to support their community, especially during tough times. Often these are more environmentally sound options. They want to positively impact their local economy, and in general, they actually find these brands to be more trustworthy than these large, iconic brands that we're all familiar with. Despite the need for convenience, we've actually seen this attitude rise over the past year with a sort of anti-e-commerce sentiment, a shift in attitude away from large brands providing convenience, born from a concern for the environment and a preference for supporting more local mom-and-pop shops. P2P support is an insight that shows peer-to-peer support becoming a lifeline for communities when overcoming COVID in many different ways. Many-to-many is about consumers needing a sense of community now more than ever, not just in their social interactions, but even in the way they navigate their day-to-day and the brands that they interact with. How are you battling big brand skepticism? And if you are a smaller brand, how are you capitalizing on it? Wrapping up our final module on Megatrends most relevant in the recharting, here are our takeaways. AI is about technology being able to provide solutions. Multisensation is about new precedents being set in terms of the level of immersion people expect from their entertainment. Co-creation is about empowering customers by getting their help. Experience is about the relationship focus of chaos turning into a more sort of focus on memories. Gamification is when life is mundane or worrisome, providing excitement wherever possible. Many to many is about people wanting to encourage a sense of community, and finally, personalization is about increasing moments of joy by providing surprising, unique, custom services and products. And that's it for our course on the 18 megatrends of the new normal. Thank you for watching. And if you have any additional questions or need any additional information, please see the links below.